I'm sure most everyone has seen these photo boxes. You can buy them at Michael's and Joann's here in the States. Any place that sells things, like even a Tuesday Morning would have them. And it is just an accordion style file photo box. So it looks like this inside and it accordions out. So what we're going to do is we're going to transform this standard plain photo box and make it into what I'm calling a treasure trove, a treasure box. So to get started, find one of these photo boxes. And this one, which looks like it was probably never even used for photos or anything, it's like brand new, was found at a thrift shop for $2. So look around, see what you can find, and accommodate one of these accordion style photo boxes to start your project. For the last few years, the craze has been making handmade journals and junk journals, and this is going to take it a step further and going to be something really spectacular, and I can't wait to finish this project and use it for myself. If you go on YouTube, there are thousands of videos now on making hidden paper clips for your junk journals. I'm not going to show it here, so go find one of those videos and learn how to make a hidden paper clip. But I just want to show you really quick what I'm doing in my little box here. I'm taking index cards, the standard small 3x5 index cards, and I'm folding them in half the long ways. And I'm using regular size paper clips, the smaller kind, not the big kind, and putting one at each end like this as my base for my hidden paper clip for my tab. The reason I'm doing that is the tabs in my box are extremely long. They're 4.5 inches long. So I guess it depends on the brand of photo box that you have, how long your tabs are. So instead of having a small tab, which you could do with one paper clip, I'm choosing to make a long hidden paper clip tab with 2. And one of the nice things about having your tabs, your words on your tabs, to be on these hidden paper clips is you can change them around. So as you set up your box, like I've done here, I have a spot here for birthdays, and that's for this little book for filling in all your birthdays of your family members and friends. And that's something I'm going to move to the back. I had it in the front. It's not something I'm going to get into as often as some of the other things. So I'm going to move it to the back. So with these tabs, if you had decorated the actual tabs in the box, you wouldn't be able to change them around. So that's why I'm doing mine on the hidden paper clips, so I can customize my box and change it around the way that I like it. So the first thing you'd want to do is to decide what categories you want for your box and for your memorabilia. So I made a list on a piece of paper of all the different ones. I counted how many tabs were in the box, and I made all the hidden paper clips. Then I used my label maker to make a label for each one, and then I stuck the tab on the box. So decide how you want to set yours up and what you want to put in your little treasure box. Do you want it to be for just treasures or for other things and lists and things that you want to work out of the box? It's totally up to you, and it's super customizable. And how I came up with this idea was I love to make handmade journals, and I love to write in my journals and tuck things in just like everybody else does. So you make a lot of tags and tucks and ephemera, and you start adding things that you are going to be keepsaking and putting them into your journal and tucking them into your journal. Well, before I know it, I went from having a beautiful journal that looked like this to having it be so gaitered because it was so stuffed with so much stuff. And when I'd go to try and write in it or do things in my journal, it was just too bulky and too full of stuff. So I started taking out the heavy stuff and the stuff that was overstuffing my junk journal, and decided, hey, I need another place to put that. And I came with up with this idea of having a treasure box to put the treasured items and the treasured things. Instead of in my junk journal, I'm putting them into my treasure box. And then I'm using my junk journal for handwriting things, for I've got paper in there, so I do watercolor paintings and a little bit of drawing and artwork. And I still tuck things in, and I still have cute pockets and tags and whatnot. But it's just not so overstuffed. The overstuffed stuff is in this great treasure box. So that's how I came up with the idea, and I thought I would share it because I thought maybe you might be having the same problem with your junk journals, and then pick up on this concept and say, wow, that's really cool. I'm going to make one. And to tell you the truth, since I made this and I've started using it, I absolutely love it. I love it as much as my junk journals. So maybe you will too. For decorating the front, I'm going to put a link to another video of mine where I decorate the outside of handmade journals, and I have a specific mixed media way of doing that, and that's how I'm going to do this box as well. It's going to be the same technique. So if you want exact step-by-step how to do it, then you can watch that video and learn how to do it. So I'm going to just give you the basics ideas of how I'm going to do this one, and you can watch the other one. So to start with, I like to put down the things that are raised and textured, and I used chipboard letters and just some glue to put the words treasures and more on the front of my box. Now I'm going to use things like tissue paper and cheesecloth, little keys, buttons, all kinds of things that are very textured are going to get glued to this box, and then I'll put down a layer of white gesso. I'll paint that over it, let that dry. Then I'm going to add paints and sprays and inks and splatters and postage stamps and little tidbits of things on the outside part of that. Watch the other video, you'll see what I mean, and I'll come back and show you what my box looks like when it's all completed. This is my completed treasure box. So on the front cover it says treasures and more. And here are the things that I used to put texture. I used a wooden key. This is made with tissue paper. How you use tissue paper to make texture. There are beads and brads, things I've rubber stamped, napkin images. I put lace trim along the top. And this tag has the definition of treasure from the dictionary. So I thought that would be a neat thing, and I love how it says a box for storing valuables, because that's what this box is for. So there's a metal key on the front and a little wooden teacup. Some Tim Holtz images. These are the collage papers from Tim Holtz. That was a piece of jewelry. A bead. That was a peace sign. A bird's nest. Wooden key, wooden heart. Rubber stamped birds. I rubber stamped some images. Some mandalas. This postage stamp is from Happy Mail from Sabine in Austria from a couple years back. So there are some neat postage stamps, some material with images, material with some cool face, a cool face on it. So there's a lot of neat things. And then on the front image, front edge, it goes all the way up so that when you open it, there are postage stamps and keys. Another Austrian postage stamp. This is a cute teapot that says the tea kettle up to its neck in hot water and it still sings. And then there's a tea bag hanging from the teacup that's Earl Grey, because that's my favorite tea. So you could put charms and things hanging from your handle. I just put a tag with a charm, with a key charm. There could be all kinds of charms and things hanging from your handle of your box. And when I open the box, this is what it looks like inside. Here are the labels that I created by making the hidden paperclip tabs, which I love because You can reposition them and move them and change your categories around and how you have it in the box as you use the box and work out of it. In this front section here, I put some extra little envelopes. Those are for this section back here. And let me tell you what I've chosen to use as my sections. So this first one is for wish list. And I made a little journal book and it says wish list on it that I can write in it and put my wish list in that. The vision board, I made a fold out little folder that you can open, and I have pictures in here of things on my vision board. And then on the back of them, I wrote little notes to myself about what I want to achieve by having a vision board. So that's my vision board section. And you could set these up any way that you like, whatever works for you. Here's a little section for art ideas, and it's got a notebook in it that I could write in my art ideas for my art projects, upcoming YouTube videos, all kinds of things. And for that, for the little notebooks that are in here, I use these. They're a 5x7 junior composition book that are long this way, and they have 100 pages in them. They fit perfectly, and they're great to just cover them with some scrapbooking paper, distress the edges, and you have a really pretty little notebook to drop down in and write in for whatever this section is. So this one is people who inspire me, and I have things written in there about different people, Maya Angelou, and the reasons why they inspire me. Tamara Lepore, some friends of mine that do a lot of really neat things for people. Just lots of people who inspire me. This is for my YouTube channel stat information. They send me an update every month, and I'm keeping track of my YouTube channel. Amazon wish list gifts. So when people gift something from my Amazon wish list, I get a little receipt in there from it saying, you know, you've received a gift and this is who it's from, and then you can thank them, and it tells the date and the item. So I'm saving them, and that goes in here for my Amazon wish list gifts. Thank you for anybody who has sent things from my wish list. I just really appreciate that. A quote book, so whenever I see a cool quote that I like that's on social media, I write it in my quote book. Sometimes I use them from this book in my art journal, and then I just put a check mark next to the quote that I've already used it in my art journal. But if I'm just in a poopy mood and I want to lift my spirits, I can pull out my little quote book and just read through some fun positive quotes. This section's for my pets. I don't have anything in it yet, but it's going to be photographs that I print off of my pets, and then I'm going to write things on the back of them about each pet and, you know, what makes them special, their nicknames, things like that. So I did a section for my pets. This one's for my bucket list, so I'm putting pictures and a list of things on my bucket list that, you know, what your bucket list is. Special greeting cards, so if anybody has sent a special greeting card, that not every greeting card, so like for your birthday you get 20 cards, you're not going to want to put them in here, all of them, because it's going to be too much. But to save special certain greeting cards that have a meaningful thing to me, I've got a special place for putting those greeting cards. Movie tickets. This is a cute little flip book. I did a waterfall flip. I used an old strip from scrapbooking days and put on some pictures from some movies and put movie tickets, and it can open it, undo it, and then I just glue in my movie tickets as I go to the movies, and it's really fun to look back on movies you've seen. It gives the date and the movie titles and the time that you went, so I love keeping my movie tickets, so that's kind of fun. Happy moments by year. A while back I created this punch needle pattern, and it's for a mason jar wide mouth lid, and it says memories, and I made these as gifts one year for everybody, and they are a memory jar for the year, and you give it with a little booklet and a pen, and throughout the year it just sits on your bar, on your counter, on your table, in your living room, and whenever something fun happens, something nice, it doesn't have to be a holiday. It can be anything. Something fun like, you know, I saw a Roadrunner today, or something really cute, something fun that makes you happy. My mother surprised me and brought a Starbucks peach iced tea over and just surprised me with it. So making a little note with the date and putting Mom surprised me with Starbucks, drop it in there. When I receive happy mail from people and they send me a box of goodies, I put the date and their name and the happy mail that I received and what I received. I drop it in the jar. Just really fun things like that. Just things that really make you happy. You know, something silly that your dog did, or something funny or cheerful. But the purpose of filling this jar all year long with these cute little notes, and at the end of the year on New Year's, you take them out of the jar, you read them, and it's amazing to remind yourself, even when you think you've had a really bad year, like we've had a lot of poopy years the last few years with COVID, and there's been so much negativity, you go to your jar and you read these little notes and you see, had a picnic in the park with Mom and Dad, all these cute little things that just remind you, hey, it wasn't such a bad year. There are a lot of really cute and neat things, a lot of random acts of kindness that people did, things that just made me happy and made me smile, and those are the great memories to have and keep in your jar. And so at the end of the year, I pull out one of those little envelopes with a closure on it, and I date it Happy Moments by Year, and they go in here. And just the other day, I pulled out one from 5 years ago and sat down and read it to my mom, all the happy moments, and we had forgotten some really neat and fun things that had happened that year. It's just a really fun thing. So that's what I have for that, is my happy moments by year. And then in the front of my box, these are all empty to use for the years ahead, so that they're all the same. So that's what that is. I have a section for favorite photos. It's not going to be for every single photo for me. I know this was a photo box, but this is just for really, really specific photos. So in here I have a picture of my mom and dad on their wedding day. Just really super, super important photos. Photos of a family group photo or things like that. That's just the photos that really touch you. When you'd pull them out and sit and look at them, you'd say, oh, that was, you know, that's my family, or something really special. So that's for special photos. This section for birthdays I'm using for putting this little book. This came in a Daphne's Diary. It's one of those books that you write on the month. You write in each month, you write whose birthday, to remember birthdays of family and friends. So that's going there. This is for postcards. I've received some really fun postcards. And here I've got just postcards like my brother hiked to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and he sent me a postcard that gets carried out of the Grand Canyon by mule, and you get it a week later. He was already home by the time I got the postcard, but it basically said, hey, you're getting this from the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Things like that are really special. There's a cabinet card postcard in here from Lori Marie Jenkins. She's a mixed media artist, and I had sent her some happy mail, and then we went for coffee one day and she sent me a card. So postcards that are meaningful. Here's a section for gifts given and received. I keep a little book in here, and I just write down gifts that I've received and who from, and gifts that I've given. It's another one of those silly things that it is fun to just look back on it, and you can look back and see 10 years ago a gift that you gave or you received. And then back here is for miscellaneous memorabilia. So here's another book that I made that has little pockets, so you can open this little book and tuck in all different kinds of memorabilia. It won't get stuck in down into the little folder spot. So this is a super, super useful thing. This is kind of an alternative to a junk journal. A lot of what I have in here I used to keep in one of my handmade journals, and the journal just got too thick. So I came up with this cool idea of take this photo box, revamp it, make it fun, make these little tags for each section, and work out of this, put very memorable things in it and more. So it's something I work in and do wishes wish lists and ideas, but I also keep important things and memorabilia that makes me happy. So that's why it is my treasures and more. So it's just an alternative to a junk journal. And you can keep your chunky monkey things in here and then use your journals for more like writing and things that are flat that won't make your journals so full. So I hope this inspired you. Maybe you want to get a photo box and give this a try. Watch the video for how I did this decorating of this of the outside of the box. It's so pretty and decorative and fun to look at, and give this a shot. Make one for a gift for somebody for Christmas. Do it ahead and give somebody this as a Christmas gift. They would absolutely go crazy. This would be a great gift. Mother's Day, Christmas, birthday, give somebody a treasure box. So from a plain photo box to this beautiful box for your treasures, you can set yours up any way you'd like and make your little sections in here with your tabs. And this is just an idea of how I did mine, and you can do yours any way you want based on what are your treasures that you want to store in here. You may want to store mostly photos or memorabilia, concert tickets from concerts. I even thought about that. I've got one blank spot. I've got some really great concert tickets, so it'd be fun to put those in here. There's so many things that you could put in here instead of stuffing it into your junk journal. So set yours up, make your tabs the way you want, make it, design it, and customize it for you personally. And these are just examples. I'm just showing you examples of how I set mine up. I had fun watching, and I hope you had a good time, and maybe you'll give this a try. Thanks for stopping by at Twisted Art Designs. Whatever you do, make art, because as we say, art soothes the heart.